YouTube channel. My name is Therese Alaba, and today I'm going to continue the series I started on why the opposite attract. A few weeks ago, I talked about, I introduced the topic why the opposite attract, and then on the next video, I talk about sanguine husband and sanguine wife, which I will encourage everybody to listen to. Today, I'm going to be talking about choleric husband and the choleric wife. What are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of a choleric husband, and what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of a choleric wife. Like I said last 2 weeks or last few weeks about temperament. The temperament is a template by which God has created us. It's a template by which God has created variety in the world, or else we'll all be the same. And it's very important that we understand temperament. It will enrich our relationship with people, with our partners, in our workplace, and anywhere we go. It will save unnecessary arguments, it will save unnecessary headache, it will save unnecessary pain. And sometimes you say, you wonder, I just don't know why this person behave, I just don't know why this person talk like this. How come she just doesn't think before she talks? How come her words are just so sharp? How come she just doesn't have an emotion, or she doesn't have feelings? But by understanding temperament, you will understand why people behave the way they behave. You understand why people talk the way they talk. You understand why people act the way they will act. And it will also help you as well to support people when it comes to their weaknesses as well, and it will enrich your relationship. So it's very important you listen to all this series. So today I'm going to start with the strength of a choleric husband. Who is a choleric husband? A choleric husband is a naturally born leader. In life or in work, you just see some people are just leader anywhere they find themselves. I mean, every situation they find themselves, they just find themselves to be leaders. The leader group in a school, you notice in a group, maybe the tutors allocated like a group work. They end up being the spokesperson, they end up being the leader of the group, they end up being the class captain, they end up being the team leader. They're naturally born leader. These people, they are very bold, they're confident, they're very smart, they're intelligent, they're hardworking, they are intelligent, they're hardworking, they're workaholic, they work hard, they're achievers, they're determiners, they are a goal-getter. They're not discouraged by the environment at all. So they're not discouraged by what people say. So they're very determined. They achieve a lot. They're not put down by what people say. They are planners, achievers, builders, go-getters. You see, these people, they're very good businessmen. They're very hardworking. So if you're married to a choleric husband, but rest assured that you don't have to worry about money. Bills wise, it will all be settled. They work so hard for you and they make loads of money. They're very bold, like I said, they're very confident, they're self-reliant, they're very determined, they are extroverts, but not too much. They often speak their mind out. You don't have to worry about what are they thinking about, what's going on in his mind, because it just says his mind out. It tells you the way it is, it tells what he's thinking, it tells you what it feels. They're very productive. So they start a project and they finish it. They always have a project to do. So there's always one thing after the other. They're always on the go. They're achievers. They're doing this thing. They've completed this. They get onto another task. They complete it. Get onto another task. They complete it. Get onto another task. They complete it. They're bosses of top companies. Like I said earlier on, they're very good businessmen. They thrive on activities. Even if they're not gifted, they're very determined and they do it. They work and work and work till they achieve what they want to achieve. They're really engaging on productive activities. So if they notice an activity this thing is not productive or it's not gonna get us anywhere, it's like no. They're not interested in it. Pressure does not put them down. They rather strive on pressure. So where other people has failed, they succeed in most places where other people has failed because they put the effort in. When there's pressure, when there's an obstacle, they don't see anything as an obstacle to a project they want to achieve. They just go for it and they get it. They work so hard, they labor so hard. They're very determined. They push hard, they push hard, they push hard, they push hard till they achieve wherever they want to achieve. They're very open and honest people, like I said, but sometimes which can also be a disadvantage when we come to the weaknesses. I will tell you more about being open and honest. They're very productive. When you give them something to do, they will do it. They utilize it. They're very normally they're loved by their bosses at work because they're very productive people and they're very hardworking. They're very ambitious. They normally don't like injustice. So they speak out for people. They don't like injustice or people being cheated at all. So really speak out. And when it comes to things like that, let's look at the finances of a choleric man. A choleric man is usually a successful person. The wife doesn't suffer. The children doesn't suffer. They're a great provider for the home. They're very successful people. They're achievers. And then let's look at the spirituality of a choleric man. A choleric man, like I said, is a pioneer, is a builder. They build it. So if a choleric person end up being like a pastor or something, they build churches, they have buildings, they have big churches and things like that. Different projects in them. And one project is achieved, they move on to the next one is achieved, they move on to the next one is achieved, they move on to the next one is achieved. And they don't relent. They don't relent at all. They strive. They strive so hard to engage. Um they believe sometimes they end up believing much in themselves because they see themselves as hardworking and they've achieved all these things because of their hard working and because they are hardworking. So sometimes they end up putting the trust or giving themselves the glory rather than giving the glory to God. The commitment, they're very committed. So like I said, they're very hardworking. They don't see an obstacle in anything. So if they set their mind to do something, they're committed to it till they complete it. They dog on determination. Even once they are determined to do something, they make sure they complete what they've got to do. So that is the strength of a choleric husband. So let's look at the weaknesses of a choleric husband. What's the weaknesses? Like I said earlier on, that they speak their mind out. You don't have to think too much about what they're thinking. In speaking their mind out, they're very insensitive as well because their words are so sharp. Their words are like two-edged sword. It pierces into the heart. Sometimes when they speak, you wonder, oh my God, does this person think before they speak? They just speak. They often hurt people's emotions and people's feelings. They are insensitive people in the kind of emotion. They possess the poorest emotion of all the temperaments. They're kind of very not emotional person. They don't like engaging into like a two-way conversation or two-way communication. Sometimes the wife is scared of them. And some they're kind of the one that when the kids hear, oh, daddy is here, daddy is here, they open the window, oh my God, daddy is here. Everybody switch off all the lights, all the TV goes up, everybody go undercover. We pretend as if we're sleeping. Oh no, shh, daddy is here. So that's the choleric person. They're very hot tempered as well. So they can be very fury as well. They're the kind that just slam the door, that bang on the table and things like that. Like I said, emotionally they don't have rich emotions. So if a woman is married to them, like I said, financially the woman will not suffer because they provide the man, they're a provider, but physically they're not available. So most holidays you end up going by yourself. You go for your shopping, you end up going by yourself. You will not lack money, but their presence will be lacking because they've got so many tasks to achieve. They've got so many things to do. They have project upon project that they need to do. And if they want to do something to achieve something, they will do it at all costs without thinking of the emotions or them stepping on people's toe. They just go on for it and they achieve whatever they want to achieve. They tend to keep up grudge a lot, and sometimes they can be very unforgiving person. So that's part of the weaknesses of a choleric person. So if you're married to a choleric person, you're relating with your friend that you think they're choleric, is something you need to be mindful of. That relationship wise, they're not very good in building a two-way relationship. It's just part of the weaknesses as well. Like I said, they are not really loved by people who are close by them, like their colleagues at work and things like that. Only their boss likes them because they're very hardworking, they achieve a lot. But their colleagues or people close to them, they don't like them much. But people from afar, they attracted to them. Why? Because they see them as a goal-getter. They achieve this, they achieve that. They can be hostile. They have problem with anger. They have anger problem because just flare up easily like that. So they have anger problem and they can be also they're self-will. They're very determined. They're very self-determined, but sometimes can be a problem in relationships. Sometimes they don't carry their wife along in a relationship. They just see everything as a project. They get home with the project and just do it, and they don't relate the information to their wife. So that can be part of their weakness, and that can actually affect a relationship. Now let's talk about the strength of a choleric wife. So a choleric wife, similar to a choleric husband, is a naturally born leader. They're very active. They shake up things. They're very energetic. They're very bossy. They're naturally born leader. They make good leader. They're very hardworking. They're very determined. They're achievers. They achieve things. They have project. Everything is a project. They strive to make it. They support financially at home. They're very outspoken as well, so they're extroverts as well. You don't have to think too much of what she's thinking about, what's going on in her mind, because she just speaks her mind. She tells you the way it is. She doesn't hide anything from you. She tells you the way it is. She shake up things. She move mountains. She move things around. So that they're good disciplinarian. So when you have like a some of you have a choleric mother, I know how the discipline, and when it comes to discipline, they really get the sense into your head. So that's a choleric woman. And for you, they're very productive in what they do. So whatever task you give to them, they achieve it. They achieve it by all means. Anything you give to them, they conquer it. They achieve. They're very productive. Financially, they don't struggle as well. They support the home with financial because they don't see anything as an obstacle. So nothing stops them. They don't wait for the environment to stimulate them. They are self-determined. They're independent women. They are self-controlled. They're very courageous. They are bold. They get on with it. So obstacles doesn't stop them. Challenge is often where people give up and say, we can't do this, we can't do that. It's not for a choleric woman. A choleric person and achieve it. Project upon project. They have so many projects in their mind. And sometimes they even get involved in so many tasks in the house, doing this and doing that, doing that and doing that. And if you're not careful, the husband can feel left behind or left out. A choleric woman is a very forceful person. They achieve a lot and they support the house financially. Now let's look at the weaknesses of a choleric person. Like I said, they're very outspoken, similar to a choleric husband. Being outspoken, they don't think about their words. They don't think about the presentation of what they want to say. They don't think about the feelings of people or the people they are addressing. They just speak out their mind the way it is. And it becomes a problem because even though they have very intelligent idea, very insightful idea, people find it so hard to accept it because of the way it's been presented. So the words similar, they're like two-edged sword. It pierces through your heart. A choleric woman, when they talk, it cuts through your heart. They tend to keep grudge as well. They're not very domestic person at home, so they don't see it as a project. When they get home, they're tired. They just jump in the bed, sleep to the following day, gathering strength for the next project that is coming. They get so involved in so many projects in their mind, and sometimes they forget to carry their husband along as well. They tend to be bossy. If you're not very careful, they might easily leave their husband at home in home affairs. A choleric woman is very unpopular. They can be mean at times. Other men sometimes get intimidated by them because of their behavior. They don't have time to make friends because they're just so engrossed in different projects that comes their way or different project they have in mind to do. Like I say, they can be very bossy as well. They're not tender, they're not soft. Somebody can be very mean to other people. Some other women, other temperaments are not so much interested in them. That's why they're unpopular. They please their work boss a lot at work, so the boss like them because they're very hardworking. They achieve a lot. They bring a project to um a logical conclusion. They do a lot at work. But however, if the boss marry them, it's a two different story. That story is not the same productive they have at work. They will have at home. They're not domestic person at all at home, so they don't see house chores as being a project. They're looking for like a project or something they can achieve. They're hot tempered as well, so they flare up easily. They get angry easily. They just release into the hair, and then later on they're, oh my god, what have I done? They can be very unforgiving to their husband as well, like no warm emotionally. Like I said, they possess one of the poorest emotion as a choleric woman. So who has this trait in the Bible that we can relate to? It's Paul. Paul in the Bible is a choleric person. You can hear from his words, oh foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? You can see Paul, but then they are enduring. It's the same Paul that says endure hardness as a good soldier of Christ. They don't see anything as an obstacle. It's the Paul that say in perilous time, in beating, in problems, he said in fasting, in reproach, in necessity. This is the same choleric person. So nothing comes as an obstacle to them. And if you remember what he said as well in Philippians chapter 3 verse 14, he said, a person. So that's the choleric person. The person. Despite all these challenges, despite all this beating, despite all this peril time, despite throwing him in prison, let's try almost killing him, despite risking his life to the point of death, what did he say? Endure hardness. And he said, I press on towards the mark of the high calling. So he labored a lot and he achieved a lot. He wrote almost 2/3 of the Bible, the New Testament. That's a choleric person. But then they have their weaknesses. And that's the beauty and the creativeness of God. Because if the whole world is like Peter, the sanguine one, we can't be talking plenty without thinking. We can't be making promises without fulfilling our promises. The whole world will be like a party because we'll all be having party. And same, if the whole world is like Paul, we'll all be hurt. We'll be hurting each other. Everybody will be moody. Everybody will be hungry. So that is God in his own beautiful way of mixing creation together, or in the own beautiful of creating diversity and variances in the world. He's created all these temperaments for us to enjoy and to use for the glory. So it's very important to understand this temperament. It helps you relating to people. It helps you to avoid unnecessary problems, unnecessary headache, unnecessary heartache, unnecessary fight. When you see someone, you can say, this is a choleric person. I know how to relate to her or him. How? This is a sanguine person. I know how to relate to him or her. So it's very important you understand this strength point. It will improve your relationship with people. And even it will make people even like you more because you know how to relate with them. And it will make you a better person. So this is where I'm gonna stop for now. So next series, I'm gonna talk next video. I'm gonna talk about another temperament. It could be phlegmatic, or it could be melancholic. So either of them. So I encourage you to listen to this video. Listen to the sanguine I've talked about before. Listen to the upcoming one, phlegmatic, and the melancholic that is coming as well. So thank you very much once again for watching my video. Thank you for your time. Please, I can't overemphasize, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, forward it to your friend, make a comment. I can see that a lot of you are watching, but there's no comment. So wherever you've learned, please make a comment to encourage other people, and then try and encourage your friends to click on the on subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 by the end of this month, so please help me achieve my goal, and I pray God bless you. So thank you once again. Till next, it's been nice talking to you. Therese Alaba. Bye.